Hello, I'm Nancy Hoyer-Evans, Curriculum Coordinator at iPathways, and today I'm here to talk to you about diversity. I'm not sure why diversity became the buzzword because it implies only two sides or two types of anything, which we know is silly. I suppose to make the word die in diverse work is to think of it as your perspective, experience, and reality, and someone else's who is different from yours. I would actually submit that we should change the word to multiverse, implying that many versions of reality are true all at the same time, all with the same inherent value and importance, both in the real world and in our classrooms. There is so much richness in the multiverse, so much to draw from for us. Classroom climate and classroom culture directly impact learning. All of the evidence supports this. These ideas meet together, and we have a tremendous opportunity to give our students better access to learning. One of my mantras as a teacher is meet them where they are, and then help them figure out where they want to go, and then help them get there. But in order to meet your students where they are, it is your responsibility to learn where they are. I usually visualize all of our different backgrounds, cultures, genders, ethnicities, biases, and prejudices as planes that intersect at any given time. Our job as instructors is to encourage an awareness of all these simultaneously occurring realities. Why is this important? Have you ever surfed Netflix or Hulu looking for something to watch? You scan past things that aren't relevant to you, that don't speak to a reality you recognize, right? You don't watch horror movies, maybe, or cop dramas, or my personal favorite, home improvement shows, based on your life and who and where you are in it. This is so true in our classrooms. It is our job as instructors to make our content something that resonates with our students, that makes them stop on our channel. We must actually be students of all of the possibilities out there. If you don't understand what it's like to be a Black female in today's world, it is your job to do the work and figure it out. If you've not raised a child of color, then it may be difficult for you to understand the fear of that child's parents every time the child walks out the door. If your family is not Hispanic, you may not know that you should never question authority, particularly in public. If you're not from the Far East, you may not know which behaviors cause you to lose face or lose respect. If you don't understand the literature structures and conversational topics that vary in acceptability from one culture to another, that's on you too. Every student we have represents a whole universe, their universe. Our classroom is a multiverse. So, why is this a critical part of teaching adults? Well, adults come to us with a lot of their universes populated. They have traditions, beliefs, values, priorities. Why should this be something we think about when we're preparing to help them achieve their goals? Well, here are the benefits of changing your teaching paradigm to the multiverse. First, the multiverse creates positive learning outcomes. That's a big one. One of the best things we can do for our students is see them. See, accept, and celebrate all of them, not just the part that needs to learn our subject matter. This is especially significant for the developmental learner who is relationship driven. The multiverse improves cognitive skills and critical thinking. By encountering viewpoints and cultures different than one's own, we are nudged toward examining our own beliefs more thoroughly instead of accepting what was handed down to us. Those beliefs may no longer work in today's world. The multiverse also helps younger students as they enter adulthood. It helps them navigate the world's differences in a safe place, our classroom, where they're free to ask questions, exhibit curiosity about the unfamiliar, to make mistakes and apologize for them. The multiverse helps us prepare our students for engaged citizenship. It's a lot harder to denigrate a culture or gender or orientation if you have personally known someone from that protected group. This promotes a voting body who has a deeper understanding of our differences and our similarities. The multiverse promotes creativity. If you think about all of the things that make up your culture, your beliefs, your values as paint colors, when you incorporate other cultures and other beliefs and values and traditions, then your paint palette has many more colors than it originally had. The multiverse also creates a culturally responsive environment. It promotes understanding and inhibits fear of the other, which we know is scary and often leads to violence. We help our students learn to become more aware of other cultures and more curious about them by modeling this behavior for them. They have to see it in us first. So, what is the difference between diversity and inclusion? Some people use these terms interchangeably, but diversity, according to the experts, is recognizing the differences in our students. Inclusion is embracing, incorporating, and celebrating them. So it's actually the active part. If you're new to this whole idea, start small. Get to know your students and their stories. Are they living in a home with 3 or 4 generations because that is what is expected of them in their culture? What's important to them? Perhaps some assignments could be designed to help them write their story, help them understand their own multiverse. Do you have reading assignments? This one's easy. Start including samples from different cultures. Discuss your students' reactions to them. If you're teaching history or social studies, you may wish to focus on areas that seem most relevant to the people sitting in your seats. This can often lead to some of the lesser known aspects of history and social studies, which are more interesting anyway. Are you teaching art or music, or using art or music to teach something else? Be sure you're using examples from all over the world, representing different cultures, different aesthetics. The same for film, architecture, urban planning, whatever your subject matter is. There's a way to look at it from the multiverse perspective. Now, in addition to differing multiverses, you also have diversity in learning styles. Help your students figure out their learning styles. Perhaps it would be helpful to take a learning style assessment. There are many free ones online with descriptions of the various learning styles. This information will be helpful for them currently in their education, but it is also useful for them in their children on down the line. This acknowledgement, this acceptance, and actual proactive address of our differences sets the tone for a far more open dialogue about what they need from you. If you're like me, it may even lead to some major changes in how you approach your teaching. At the end of this video, we've included a list of resources to help you expand your own multiverse. I hope you'll look at them. I hope you'll use them to add these colors to your paint palette. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.